Don't click away, wait for the theme. That theme is team, and that's what makes the dream. I'm your host, DJ Conway, and this is the Dream Kast. And with me today is my guest. He is the Punkinnonstop. He is a YouTuber. He is my friend. He's also known as Nate. How you doing?
I'm not doing too bad.
So, God, you know it's getting really cold out there. How do you feel about winter?
I don't know. I like the scenes and everything, like the scenery, but the only thing I don't like about it is the cold, honestly.
Mm-hmm. I hate the snow. The snow is probably the worst thing for me.
I like the way it looks. I just don't like that it's so cold.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to start this off like I try to start off most of them. The last couple I didn't really start this off with, so I'm just going to start by saying it. And what's your favorite movie?
My favorite movie is, I think it's from early 2000s. It's called Haggard. It's directed and wrote by Bam Margera, and it stars like early Jackass crew and all that in it.
Is it like behind the scenes?
No, it's a movie about pretty much a guy, Ryan Dunn, that has a girlfriend, and they end up breaking up and whatever, and he's trying to get her back, but she's with somebody else, and I don't know. And then there's also a lot of skating in it, and really cool, what do you call it, like scenery shots of like, not nature, but different time lapses, and the music with it's really good.
No, I don't call it B-roll, but like, I mean, I call it B-roll, but it's not B-roll. I just call anything with like scenes in it, just, oh, that's the B-roll. But a lot of people are just like, what are you talking about? It's this, yeah, scenery, but it's what I call as B-roll.
Mm-hmm.
So my next question is, how would you describe yourself?
Like what? Like just in general?
In general, personality, humor.
I don't know, my humor varies. It's either really stupid jokes, like really dumb memes, or sophisticated stuff, like well thought out, quick fire comments that like they sound really stupid offhand, but then somebody thinks about it and then they really get it.
Mm-hmm. You have any examples? Well, I got tons of examples of the memes, but any examples just of some jokes that would make you fun, like puns? Like, I say puns and everyone just...
Really bad puns are great. Like, like really... I don't know, I'm trying to think of an example. The only one that I could think of is the title you proposed for the film.
Oh, the movie that we had to do over the past weekend was called with 48 Hour Competition. There's a character called Chuck Tennant, and it was a romance, and one of the titles I came up with was Chuck Goose.
I would have voted for that one, but mine was winning, so I had to go with that.
No, I'm glad yours won in the long run. It actually is a nice title, a good play on words.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There was one other thing I was going to say that I forgot about Haggard. There's also like a subplot in it of DiCamillo who's wanting to... You have to create this invention, and the prize is like a diamond-encrusted bicycle. So he ends up inventing the reverse microwave, which is if your food is too hot, you put it in it and it cools it down. So that's the subplot in it.
Is that real?
What?
He makes or is that was just a joke that
in the movie he made it.
Wait, so it wasn't a documentary or anything?
No, it wasn't a documentary, it's a movie. There's also a sequel, basically it's a loose sequel called Ming Hags. So
are you like a skater?
Yeah.
A longboarder or a skater? Because apparently there's a difference.
There is a difference. I always get heated about it. But yeah, I've been skating since I was little because my dad always skated, and he has a 1989 Mike Vallely elephant board from Palo Peralta, so that's why he's my favorite skater, and I just always grown up with it and everything, and I've got a collection of old and new skateboards.
When you're talking about skateboarding, I want you to talk to me like I know nothing about skateboarding, because, spoiler alert, I know nothing about skateboarding.
Yeah, I know. Like, what do you want me to elaborate on?
Just, what's the difference between longboarding and skateboarding?
Oh, the difference between longboarding and skateboarding. The way I see it usually is longboarding is good if you're just, like, riding around town with, like, your friends or by yourself and you just want to ride around wherever, because it's longer, so there's less distance you have to travel, and it's easier to stand on for a lot of people. And if you're, like, carrying a book bag or another skateboard, it's easier, like, more like a transportation one. Like, if you want to skate somewhere and do tricks, you get a longboard or a cruiser, which is... a cruiser is in between the length of a longboard and a skateboard, so you can like move more freely, but also it's longer, so it's easier to stand on and all that. And then skateboarding is for faster movement and for doing tricks. basically, is the difference between that. Is how I see it.
Okay, well, now that makes sense. Normally, when I'm like, oh, yeah, what's the difference? Just goes, you don't understand, and it doesn't really elaborate.
And the thing that I get upset about with it is people are like, oh, dude, you skateboard? And I'll be like, yeah, I do, because, like, I've always grown up with it. I know a lot of the skaters, the movies, the brands, who was on what, everything like that, the trick names. And then they'll be like, oh, yeah, me too, dude. I've got this longboard I bought from Zoomies, and I'm just like, I just bite my tongue, and I'm like, oh, that's cool, dude. I don't know. I just don't... Like, longboards are cool and all, don't get me wrong, but it's not skateboarding. It is, but it's not. It's confusing. No. Really stupid.
Were you a fan of Rocket Power?
Actually, yes. I seen your post about it the other day, or somebody's post about it. I always grew up with Rocket Power. And the one...
I'm going to edit that out.
Bless you.
I'm probably not. Continue.
The person who did the theme song for that is Mark Mothersbaugh, who was the lead singer of Devo. They did the song Whip It, and Devo is one of my top favorite bands of all time. So
on Rocket Power?
Yeah, the one who did the theme song for that.
We are riders on a nation, something.
Yeah, I don't remember it. It's been too long. But
he
also did the music for like the Lego Movie and the Rugrats theme song.
Oh, dun 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 dun.
Yeah, he did that.
Dun 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 dun. Did you have like favorite cartoons back then, or do you still have favorite cartoons?
I still have some favorite cartoons. Like back then, Rugrats, I always watched that all the time. I'd always go to the library where you could rent movies, and I'd always rent the VHS of the, it was like the Rugrats or Nickelodeon Halloween special. It was a mashup of Rugrats and Ugg, Real Monsters, and it was just the best.
Oh, I love all Real Monsters.
I had the complete series on that on DVD for $1 at a garage sale, sealed, the reissue of it.
Yeah, I freaking love those things. Tim Curry was on that. I love Tim Curry. He's also the mild prickle fruit.
With that, I always used to play this game. It was early 2000s computer game. It was Nicktoons Racing.
Oh yes, I played that too. It was
I played the crap out of that. Oh my god. It
was Fairly Odd Parents were in there. SpongeBob.
Icus. I don't remember if Rocket Power was in there.
They were definitely in there.
Yeah.
Danny Phantom wasn't because I was.
Danny Phantom wasn't. I don't remember if Cat Dog was in that or not.
They had to be. They had to be. Hey Arnold would definitely be a part of that. Which you said you were. Go ahead. No, you go.
I was gonna say maybe Rocko's
you go
Modern
first
Life too.
Yeah,
I don't know if he was or not.
Yeah,
continue.
But what I was gonna say is, me and my friends also grew up with Rugrats, so we would always go, okay, well, who do you relate to the most? Like, which character would you say represents you out of all the Rugrats?
Lights turned off out there. Okay.
Yeah, no, that gets scary. That's why I choose this side of the room so I can stare out that way.
Yeah, I thought I seen him go off, but who would I relate to most?
Because there's Chucky, Phil, Lil, Tommy, and
Dill and Angelica, and then
Kim too.
Kim. Oh yeah, Kim came in later.
The French Asian.
I would say they had to throw the diversity in there with what's Angelica's friend's name?
Oh wait, what? Oh, the black
girl. Yeah.
She was the coolest one.
Yeah, she was always really cool.
I can't think of it.
But who I relate to the most? Tommy's always like the brave one who has the ideas and everything. Phil and Lil are both really stupid and obnoxious and seem to break everything. Chucky's like always the outcast who's afraid to do anything because of his parents. And obviously, what's the baby?
Dill,
yeah.
My brother's name is Dill, that's the only reason I remember.
Oh, yeah. And then Dill is obviously a baby. I forgot about the teenage Rugrats.
Oh, all grown up. Yeah. And then they dropped Dylan on his head, so he was like just a weird kid.
Yeah.
Like if I'd probably be Dylan, all grown up, but I always related to Chucky as a kid.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that Chucky as a kid. I don't know. I'm like a combination of Tommy and Chucky because I've always got the ideas and the inventions and try to make everything work and hold the groups of whatever together. But I'm also Chucky because I'm always reluctant or afraid to do things because of like my parents. Like, no, my dad says I can't do that, or like, no, I can't do that. It's not good for me or whatever. So I don't know.
And to anyone who's listening to this and they're trying to think about whoever they're related to, like who they relate to, if you relate to Angelica, I hate you.
Yeah,
Angelica was the worst character.
Yeah, Angelica, I've known a few people that are like that. some family members are like that, and it's always like there's one in particular that I'm not gonna say because of like if they actually somehow watch this.
Yeah, well, if you can not name it, but that's up to you again.
Yeah, I don't know. It was just one of my relatives that was always like that, always spoiled, and if they didn't get their way, they'd just throw a fit, and their parents would buy them anything.
I know a lot of people.
I know a lot of people like that, but there's just like one that sticks out in my head.
God. Oh, Go ahead.
Did I even answer your question about favorite cartoons?
You said you had a few.
Yeah, I had a few. But like, if I had to name some, it'd be like definitely Rugrats, Real Monsters, and I don't know if you remember this one. It was Roly Poly Oly.
Oh yeah, no, they were just circles in space on the planet.
And the springs and stuff. Yeah, that was always one of my favorite ones. And then there's one more. I'm trying to remember. A lot of my stuff like that is associated with the old computer games that had it. Like I remember the show with the blue octopus.
Oh wait, was that the? I only remember one
episode.
I remember one episode. It was on Nick Jr. He was going. He only had 2 marshmallows, but his friend had 3 marshmallows in his coffee. So he like took an umbrella and he flew to get some marshmallows. Oh, whatever. That was the only episode I remember.
Yeah, but I used to play a game on the computer. It was a flash game, an old school flash game that it was like Ox Diner or something like that, and it'd tell you a picture and you'd have to make it or whatever, and you could make a jello and put whatever you wanted in it, and there was an option where you could just put an old boot in it. It was just so funny.
So you watched a lot of cartoons as a kid?
Yeah, I watched mainly Nickelodeon and sometimes Disney stuff, but not a lot. Like, what is it? Phil of the Future. Phil of the Future.
Oh, give me.
And also, I love Dora. Also,
Dora. I remember I was there when it first came out. Dora.
Yeah.
I remember when SpongeBob also was like, "Oh, watch this new show."
Yeah,
SpongeBob.
I remember that a little bit.
I thought he was an alien.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's right. One of my favorite things I almost forgot was definitely and still is Pokemon. Since I was little, I watched Pokemon and played the cards and the games.
Were you a big Pokemon goer when it came out?
The first couple days it came out, like it came out on like the 6th. Everybody's ranting about it, and I got it. You know, I made an account and cut the starter Pokemon, which I picked Squirtle because that's what I always did in the games. And then I was sitting in my room and I was like, well, this sucks. There's nothing spawning here, so I just deleted it. And then like 2 days later, I got it and started playing around with it. But yeah, me and my dad actually played that too because we were always into it. Like we went to like when the games were out. I don't know if you ever played them at all. Like
which ones?
Like Game Boy, like Fire Red, Leaf Green, Emerald, Ruby, Sapphire, and all those.
Who didn't play those games?
I don't know. There's a couple people that I've known that like didn't play Pokemon like that. But we would always go to the events called Pokemon Rocks, and they were up in Chicago. You'd bring your Game Boy and however many copies of the game you wanted, and then they put it in this box. I don't know what they do, but it would set up a thing where you could go. And we went to like 3 or 4. Where one was you catch Celebi, Lugia, Ho-Oh, and Mew, and we would always do those, and it was always really cool. And then my other favorite show was Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the one from '95. I had a ton of toys from that.
Do you see what I'm wearing?
Yeah, I seen that today. I seen your Green Ranger outfit.
Yeah. Which one did you? Okay, of all the Power Rangers, which one was your favorite?
Red, because red was my favorite color for a long time.
Now,
it was red or green.
I have a funny story about that. I think I told you about it. Everyone else already picked their favorite Ranger, and we like to play Power Rangers. So, like, I was stuck with the Green Ranger, and yeah, so that's how I wound up with green being my favorite color.
Mm.
Now, everyone, when they're born, has this kind of experience, and they go, oh, I want to be a teacher, oh, I want to be an astronaut, I want to be this, I want to be that, I want to be this. Did you have a certain career path that you wanted to do, or go into, even as a kid?
For a little while, it was a really stupid ambition. Like, I know that sounds bad to say about yourself, but me and my cousin, every time we'd go over there to my grandma and grandpa's house on Wednesdays, we'd wait for the garbage guys to come around, because we wanted to be garbage guys until we were like 7 or so. But my other thing was always like, because I'm going for digital media production, is I'd always done stuff with video editing and photo editing and audio editing, because that's what my dad did. He'd build websites and he'd Photoshop and make animated GIFs and all that. And I started off editing simple photos and drawing and whatnot on Microsoft Paint and like Windows 98 back when I was like 2 or 3. So that was kind of always what I've done. So it's just always what I wanted to do because I like creating things like digitally and visually.
Okay, good. I was about to say, like, did any of that like escalate you as you went on?
Yeah, a little bit, because like I'd always done it because I liked it, but then once I started making more stuff and people like my friends and like even some teachers and family always like the stuff that I put out, and we're excited to see it. Like Shelly always tells me that. She's like, "Oh, I'm so excited to see your final project because I always love your videos." It's always weird for me hearing stuff like that, and then when I gain views or subscribers or anything on YouTube, it's just like, why? I make this stuff for fun. Why are you guys liking it?
Well, no, I'm glad you have an audience to look forward. Like, it's always nice to see feedback from people.
Yeah.
Like me and you, we both make content, but we make it because we like it, not really looking for fame or anything.
Yeah. I make it because I like it, and then I know that my friends and family like it, the close ones at least, and then if it makes 15, 10, 5 minutes of their day better, or at least one laugh out of a video, then that's cool. And they're like, hey, I like your video, it made me laugh. Then it's just cool, you know? You get a small message of emotion out to somebody, then that's at least one person's day changed.
I think the best feeling I had was recently, actually. I did a review of Gravity Falls.
Oh yeah, I didn't get to watch that yet, but...
Yeah, and I put it on my Facebook because I really wanted people to, like, hey, check this out. And a couple people actually responded to me like, hey, I watched your review. I'm binge watching Gravity Falls right now. I love Gravity Falls, and just hearing that my review is making someone go watch it is great for me.
Yeah, I like that show a lot. I haven't got to like watch it as the series. I just catch it if it's on sometimes. I used to watch TV all the time, but I don't anymore. But I love it when it comes on because the theme song's really catchy, and it's got all these little hidden things in it, like the one... You know about the like backwards message that's in it, right?
Oh, it's like three letters back or something like that.
Yeah, 3 something back. And I'd heard it when I first listened to it. I was like, that's a backwards message, just because I'm so used to listening for things in audio because of how I make stuff.
I don't even watch TV anymore. I hate this because like I don't have cable, but I need to watch these things, so I go on like the internet.
Yeah.
Now, as you're going on right now, you're in school. What do you have planned for? What do you exactly want to do?
I don't know. The initial like thought with it, for like when I was telling my guidance counselor when I was applying for college, was like he asked the same question, and I thought like, well, it's a very very wide market for digital media production, because you could either make something for somebody or produce it or edit it, whatever. So like if like for photo editing, Photoshop. Like Doritos comes to you and they're like, hey, here's a picture of a chip in a bag. Can you make an advertisement with it, just like a single page advertisement with it? You could do that. And then videos like, here's some stock footage if you want to record something for yours also with it, you know, you could edit that with it. You know, anything like that. Simple advertising is basically what I do. It wouldn't have to have my name on it, but I just always thought it would be cool to see something that I made or edited or produced or whatever, like nation or worldwide, whatever. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm.
No, I definitely understand.
That was like the initial thing for it, other than like because I do it as a hobby, but if I could do it professionally, that sounds stupid, if I could do it professionally, like with a degree, I guess, then it'd be like, oh, this guy's went to school for it, you know, he's good.
Like you're actually making some money off of something that you love
doing. That would be cool. Like if I make money doing just my YouTube, then that's cool, that's great, but if not, I just like to show people what I've done or what I could do, not in like the gloaty way of what I can do, just, you know. And
you just want people to see that you can do something.
Yeah, and see, or like, if I want to say convey a message, if I'd get bigger and convey a message to like a large amount of people to make their day better or see something differently or from another aspect, then I think that would be the big goal for me always. Mm-hmm.
So, let's say right now, this is another hypothetical. God powers. You have God powers, but not anything like you can't get powers, you can't like run the world, but realistically, if you had God powers, what would be the number one thing you'd want to do?
Damn, I'll have to think about that one for a second.
Yeah, there's a reason I asked the movie question beforehand instead of on the spot. And then just like, oh God, let me give me a second.
God, I should have asked this one beforehand. Damn. I don't know. I'm sticking with the same thing that I say, because a lot of times I have opinions that are different than everybody else's. I see things a lot differently than other people, because like if we're watching something, I'll pick out stuff that nobody else notices, and I'll pick up on unnoticed stuff a lot of times way before anybody else does. And that makes me see things a lot differently than most people do. And it would just be to like convey a message just a large amount of people with these. You know, like if it's something simple or just like I don't want to say motivational, but something like motivational, basically, to a large amount of people worldwide or whatever, in like any language or anything like that.
Something that touches someone else.
Yeah, something that touches a large group of people to where it maybe makes their day better, or makes them, I don't know, reconnect with somebody that they've fallen apart with or fallen through with, or just helps them get through their days better, you know, by keeping something in their head. An example of that is YouTuber Casey Neistat. He doesn't anymore. He just recently ended his vlogging. But he makes films. He's made films and done car commercials and all this stuff. And he's always very ambitious about doing more. And for one of his videos about doing more, he got a backwards tattoo that says "do more" on his arm. So when he looks in the mirror, a backwards photo, it says "do more." And that just got me thinking of, like, you know, I should do more. Like, I've got all these ideas and all the time and all the resources to do it, and I just don't do it. So you should just do more. And he's got an audience growing of like 5 million subscribers or something crazy like that. Maybe more than that. And just to think, if you could have just that small, I say that small amount of people, but compared to the scale of the world, you know, see a message about doing more and just believe in what you're doing. If it's good, believe in what you're doing. Even if it's not, I guess you could say it, and just give that little mental drive to do more, you know, or whatever the message would be. That would be what I'd want. That's kind of a loose, broken up English because of how I think, but just, yeah, convey something, I guess, motivational to a large amount of people that would change the way they think.
Are there any memories right now, or anything that stands out to you that you've done that you are proud of? Like, what are the proudest moments
of, like,
out of anything that you've done?
Out of anything that I've done, well, I don't know. Like, I was, like, recently, obviously, the film project that we did, I'm really proud that I was a part of that and helped with what I could, because it turned out awesome in my opinion. And that's, like, the biggest project I've worked on with a group of people. But other things that I've done, like, solely is, like a little one, like, which is a lot of people's, which is, like, graduate high school, because not everybody does that based on whatever your circumstances, and that I'm able to drive myself to school and back with the days that I have class. Like, that's an achievement to me. That I had my first job recently this summer. Even though I'm 19, I had my first job and I held it, and I quit because of family reasons. But I got myself up on time and there on time every day that I worked. If I'm able to do something on time, that's one thing that I'm proud of, because I always sleep in late, or I just don't care. And probably, like, I know it's really low, but, like, reaching 200 subscribers on YouTube was something that I'm, like, proud of, because I don't understand why.
No, it's nice to feel like someone else is watching and they actually care.
Yeah, like, I don't get a lot of views, granted, but, like, just that amount of people at some point had to choose, like, hey, I like this guy based on something that I've put out there, that I've created or thought of, to subscribe to see my stuff more. That's just really cool to me, and I still don't understand why, but I guess that's just because like, a lot of people that create stuff look down on their stuff as not as good as it could be, even though everybody else would never know the difference unless you tell them what it was supposed to be. I'm trying to think of any other big, like, achievements or anything.
Well, let me help you out there. How about your logo, or any of your paintings that you've done?
Oh, my paintings. Well, my logo I didn't do. Mine and my dad's family friend, he did that for me a few years ago. He was going to school at the Chicago Art Institute, but he couldn't afford it anymore or something, so he had to drop out. But he does these really good professional cartoon drawings, and they're all really funny and great. But that's a short story about my logo. I think I've talked about that before.
Not on here.
Not on here, but yeah.
Tell the story.
Well, my logo was, I knew he did paintings and drawings and all that, and he went to school at one point. And I asked my dad if he could talk to him about it. And he's like, yeah, sure. And it took a while, but then he's like, here, I got this for you. And I told him that my thing has always been eyeballs, because I always am very expressive, and my eyes are always really wide open when I talk, or I'm very emotive, you know, like with emotions, visual emotions. And I love skateboarding. So I had it asked if he could do something with a skateboarding eyeball. And that's what it ended up being. He's on, like, the edge of a cliff that's crumbling with the sky in the background, and in the background it says I skate, and it's a play on words because it's spelled out like I-E-Y-E. Okay, I made sure I spelled that right, and it says I skate in the background. and because that's what I said, something that's like ice skate, and that conveys that, and that's that logo. And he didn't charge anything for it, which is still really cool. And anytime I mention it, I try to credit him for it.
And what's his name?
His name is Mike Good or Goody. I'm not sure how he pronounces it.
Is it Mike Good with Goode?
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
It's good.
That's
like
yeah.
John Goodman.
Yeah, basically. But yeah, he made that, and I was still really grateful for that because it's awesome. I've kept it as my thing. I'll cut it out from the background on like some of the things I do, just so that it fits better. But I still use the main thing as my logo.
Mm-hmm. I prefer PNGs as well, which is the thing with
your logo. I know what it
cut.
is.
Yeah. That just the PNG. I'm just
explaining it. Yeah, I forget that we're not just talking and explaining it to an audience.
PNG is just so you can. It's not just a square thing.
What does it stand for? Is it like portable network graphic?
You probably know more than I do, dude. I just know PNG.
I thought it was portable network graphic.
I don't know what JPEG stands for.
I don't remember everything like that. But
here's a question for you. GIF or GIF?
I say GIF.
I say GIF.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Get your peanut butter out of here.
It's just I've always said that.
I've always said GIF because of my dad.
I've always said GIF.
It's supposed to be GIF.
That's why I say it, because the artist said he created it. He says it should be pronounced GIF, and I think my personal feelings is if an artist creates it, they have the say on what it should be like.
I respect that, but it's just if I say it otherwise, it bugs me internally. Like if I say like, "Oh, dude, you see that animated GIF?" It's just like, then other people will be like, "What are you talking about? It's GIF," and it's like, technically yes, but
it's
no. Like yeah,
it's kind of like when Fouts says Joliet and I say.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
My parents were talking about that.
Joliet, what are you talking about? You can get arrested around here for that, boy.
I think in Old City Ordinance, I think that's actually a law.
Yeah.
And then my paintings that I do are, I have an Instagram for it. It's Punkinnonstop _art. People will probably spell that wrong if you look it up for it. PUNKINNONSTOP.
There you go.
Yeah. I'll explain the name behind that in a bit too, because a lot of people are just like, "Oh, is it like a pumpkin?"
It's punkin.
Punkinnonstop. It's 2 or 3 separate words just combined to one. But all my paintings are done usually in pencil, and then fine Sharpie, and then watercolor on it's either 1.5 inch by 1.5 inch or 2 inch by 2 inch canvas. And a lot of it is all the same faces with like the way I do the eyes and 3 eyelashes on top and bottom and the pointed upper lips, and just weird things with all these colors, and they're really bizarre, I guess you could say, but they're my own style. And I've got like maybe 20 or so of those. I don't have them all posted, but my mom has them all in little frames around the house, which I think is cool. And I made one of the album covers I have has an edited version of one of my first ones on it.
Which one, the cowboy?
No, that's not a watercolor. The one that's like the purple and brown green background with the orange guy on it.
Yeah?
Yeah, that one, and it's got a picture of my eye edited onto it.
I'm sorry, audience, for like...
Unless you were going to throw up an image on it during it, or is it just exclusively podcast?
I might have to, but we'll
find
out.
I talk in visuals, because I like to explain things.
It's okay. Explain punkin' nonstop. But first I want to say, is it like you're punking nonstop?
No, it's more... My dad actually created the name. He created the channel because me and my cousins, the night after one of our friends' wedding ceremony, whatever party that me and my dad went to, we went over to my cousin's house in the garage to film this. We call it a cover band, but it wasn't even a cover band. It was the Beastie Boys. We would just play a song and dance in some stupid costume and lip sync to this stuff. And we came back and did it in the garage when we still had the skate ramps in there. It was me and my cousin Steven and Colton as the Brass Monkeys. And because Beastie Boys did a song called Brass Monkey, they always talked about it, which was a beer that they like to drink. I don't even think they sell it anymore. But we did that, and we did 3 of them, and it's 2007, November 11th was when the channel was started. And he created the name because he's still around, he's 13, my cat, Punky, on his like birth certificate or whatever, the vet, his name is Punk, but we call him like Punk, Punky, and Punkin. So Punkin is there, Punkin, and then nonstop, because he meows nonstop. You never quit meowing. And he doesn't even, like, ever since he was, like, around, like, really little, he wouldn't meow, he'd just scream. Just like, like, kind of like if you put a card in a baseball tire or a fan, that's kind of his meow. It's just really loud. And he just never stopped doing that, so Punkin' nonstop. And that's where my name came from for that. And I've just kind of stuck with that as the staple. And there's actually a brick in my town that has my name, the channel date, and Punkinnonstop on it.
Oh yeah, what's the town again?
Seneca, where they built, I think it was like 50 or so of the LST ships for World War II.
And what's your address? And what's your zip code?
What's your
social security number?
I thought you were going to ask that next.
Yeah. And what is... last thing I just want to bring up is just a little thing that happened to us during the 48 hour, the motel.
Yeah.
You want to explain what... Just the whole baffling situation that was.
Like, the hotel itself?
Yeah. No, just like the whole situation, how Fouts screwed up and...
Oh, okay. Well, the hotel we got... Should I say the name of it or no? Of the hotel?
Just call it the motel.
Alright, it's the motel. And it's on the west side of Joliet. Nick and DJ don't live... We both live about an equal amount away from the campus in Joliet, but two different towns. And Nick thought that the west side of Joliet, where the motel was a good part of town. It's not. It's by Sam's Club. If anybody knows that, it's not a good part of town. So the first night, he checked in before we did, and then he goes in the room, and he sees that the bathroom door just has a giant hole punched into it, and the backside of the door is peeling up. The shower's dirty and has dirt and not bugs, but like things that look like bugs all in it. The whole room is at a slant. Like the outlets, the lamps, everything is slanted slightly, and it's really annoying. And he just sat down on the bed and was just like, "Man, I messed up."
Alright, and now we're gonna fast forward to when we showed up.
Yeah, me and DJ didn't get there until 3:30 in the morning, 3:30 or 4 in the morning that night, Friday. And we walk in and just set our stuff down and then see the bathroom door and in the way it looks. There was no parking out front. There was no parking on the side. We had to park on the back side of this bad neighborhood motel and walk all the way around through the second floor. We were on the second floor. So we had like an obstacle of stairs separating us from the, air quotes, safety of our room. And it's also super cold. It was like 36 every night we were out there. And we get in the room and we're just like, oh man. Well, we got to figure out sleeping. So there's 3 of us and 2 beds. They're big beds. Nick claimed a bed. I claimed a bed. We did pre-establish this with dice rolling, didn't we?
Yeah. And
you're like, I don't care. I'll just sleep underneath the sink. So we're like, oh, you don't have to do that. You can just sleep on a bed. And you're like, no, it's good. And then I gave you a pillow for my bed. So I had one pillow that I described to Nick that night as you take like the thinnest sheet of paper possible and soak it in water to where it's possible to where it doesn't rip. And then fill it with the idea of cotton, and that's your pillow.
Like I was memeing on you guys. I wasn't going to sleep under the sink until like that Friday. I had to finish the script at like 5 in the morning. I'm like, I don't want to wake up like Fouts or Nate. I'm just going to sleep under the sink.
Yeah, you were just laying under there, and I gave you the paper thin duvet from my bed, and Fouts gave you his. So you had that as a mattress and your blanket and one pillow. I used one sheet as my blanket and one pillow, and I give Nick the slightly fuzzy blanket from my bed. So he had a sheet that he didn't use as a blanket and a short fuzzy blanket as his bed, and we had the heater on like 69 degrees. And it was so cold. That was like the coldest night of sleeping.
Oh god, that floor, the duvets were so thin. You guys slept with a sheet, and you guys didn't even get like the other cover.
Yeah, but Nick got a blanket. I had just a sheet.
That's the thing. The motel had one blanket between the 2 beds.
Yeah, between 2 beds there was one blanket.
And Fouch was so scared he didn't want to go talk to the manager.
Yeah, we're like, no. Then there's another thing. Where it's like you're just like in one of my videos. You can hear it. You're like, should we just call downstairs? And he's like, yeah, I would, but the phones don't work.
Oh yeah, the phones didn't work.
And then we're like, what about the Wi-Fi? Oh yeah, I have the Wi-Fi password, but it's not working. And we're just like, oh my god.
Oh my god, it was so bad. And the funniest thing about that was when I told Fouts that it was down the street from the prison, the Joliet prison.
He just stopped.
But you know the prison is literally like down the street.
And then he's like, what? And I was like, did you hear what he said? No. The prison's like right down the block. And he's just like, you're kidding me, right? And I was like, no, dude. And he's like, we're gonna die.
Just, do you remember what he said, like in the middle of the night?
I was just about to go to sleep. Like, we were just about to go to sleep. I might have been going outside to have a smoke, the last one for the night, because I do, they don't. And then Nick's just laying in the bed so incoherently, like babbling almost. He's just laying there and all you hear is, I'm going to destroy these f***s on Yelp. And that was just so crippling. Because I was like standing in the doorframe crying and DJ was under the sink just in tears.
Coming at you from under the sink. That whole weekend.
That whole weekend, in the group chat, your name is still coined as the Sink Goblin.
God.
Oh my god.
Thank you for being on the Dream Kast with me.
I'm Punkinnonstop at youtube.com, or any social media for that matter. Rip Vine, but Vine, Instagram, Snapchat, Etsy, anything. I'm Punkinnonstop. Punkinnonstop, or Nate Anderson. And yeah, thanks for having me on, DJ.
Yeah. And now you can click away, and you can just listen to this nice music. Now you can click away, and you can just listen to this nice music. Oh, there's actually music playing.
That was kind of weird. I was like, are you doing that?
I'm keeping that in.
I don't know if you can hear that or not, but...
Oh, I'll make them hear. You didn't see it, but like 6 other dudes came over and tried going into that room and left immediately because there's no chair.
I'm taking that chair, boys. I don't know where Jace went because he's not there.
Oh, can you not see him?
Is he not?
He went to the piano room. One of the piano rooms.
Right. He's like, oh, I'm gonna go there.
He didn't go over there though because there's no
There's no chair.
chair. Exactly. Yeah. Everyone just keeps coming in and like, oh, there's no chair. I'm going to leave.
Stand up and play piano if I wanted to.
Yeah, but they also just looked over here and just saw us sitting here talking. 2 chairs. Can't see the recorder.
Is it still recording?